Hi YouTubers, another video from me here, Evelyn. Today we're going to be reviewing Season 4, Episode 3 of Superman and Lois. Now, what a shame it is the final season. I did some previous reviews of the previous seasons. Things happen, you know, when you go out the room or seeing a particular series, you just end up seeing the highlights on YouTube. Now, what a shame it's the final season. The very obvious thing, since DC's rebooting Superman yet again of another movie with the actor David Cosworth, another British guy that everybody is saying is basically the same version of Henry Cavill. Anyway, when that comes out, most likely I'll see it, X, Y, and Z, see how this new take is. But what made Superman Lois special for CW, it was completely aesthetically different from the typical CW show. I believe they had a partnership with HBO, the streaming service, of like production. HBO had some production hand in it, so it was very different because, of course, we first saw Superman with Tyler Hoechlin when he was in the Supergirl series. Now, the CW shows, the whole Arrowverse, the superheroes, the Flash, it started off in a good premise, but slowly the writing went down, the production went down, particularly the Flash, the CGI. So they've now ended. Now, Superman Lois, as far as I'm aware, the last show is still standing, final season. And of course, in this season, they're gonna have to try to tie up everything, because on season 3 at the end there was that fight of Doomsday against Superman, and then we get the beginning of a hardcore battle scene in which Doomsday basically takes out Superman's heart, and Lois and both the boys are there and trying to understand that really horrific. It was shocking, and as well, goddamn the actress that plays Lois, I think her name is Betty. What was it? Anyway, I'll put her name in here. What real reaction, you can really see the partnership between both actors, Tyler and the other woman, of how you believe them as a married couple. Because imagine seeing your husband there with no heart and you're like, what? And it was like so sad with that reaction. So episode 3 of season 4 is trying to come to terms with a world without Superman. Is there any hope of saving Superman? So from my understanding, Lara, the hologram mom of Superman, I think tells John or Jordan along the lines that a way to save him will be to recuperate his heart, because the understanding is that Luthor has Superman's heart, Doomsday gave it to him, and with episode 3 it was like Jordan trying to save it, but I think Jonathan telling Jordan that he's not ready, the plan, and we get that scene of Jordan watching Luthor squishing his dad's heart. Now, there's one thing I know they're going to do. They're going to play off the whole rivalry between the two brothers, Jordan being the most sensitive, misunderstood one, or like all over the place, and Jonathan, which is not be a big stretch, when he ends up finding out at the beginning of the episode that his mom went and posted online that Superman is dead, he got really angry at that and offended, and asking his mom why did she post about their dad dying, and she goes and says, like, not your dad but Superman, and in that case Jonathan just loses it. Now, this actor who replaced the other one, the new actor, I think his name is Michael Bishop, and the other boy's name was not coincidentally also called Jordan. I think something happened to the other actor, you know, life issues, whatnot. To me, it had to be that big life issues to step away from a role. I wouldn't say a role of a lifetime, but a launching pad for bigger things. So anyway, so Jonathan is in the barn where they keep Clark's little baby spaceship thing. He's freaking out. He's insulting Jordan for his reckless plan. Like, I don't know how it's more like, I can understand the dynamic. Jonathan was always there trying to protect his brother. He always has to be, you know, like good, perfect, X, Y, and Z. But they're missing out the key point. Like, Jonathan wasn't exactly, you know, saintly. He took that, was it? That yellow kryptonite thing that gave him temporary powers, so they had to see it that. But of course, we end up finding out Jonathan's real desire was also to have powers like his brother. But since I guess it's only one season, they gave him all the powers at once with Superman, like, for like, what was it? Frozen breath, heat vision, flying, strength. But of course, I saw bits of episode 4. I'm trying to see it online, but they haven't posted it. That Jordan may have all these powers, but he needs time to train them and know how to use them, control them, X, Y, and Z. Now, to get back to the juicy part of episode 3. So, what's his name? Doomsday Luther knows that General Lane knows where his daughter is, Luther's daughter. I think the daughter's called Amanda, something along the lines, but this daughter's in hiding, and Sam Lane went and promised the daughter of Lex Luthor that he'll keep her safe. So he's there. So Luthor is threatening the DoD, the Department of Defense, about sending, Doomsday. But of course, there's the other characters of John Henry Irons and Natalie, that they've been offered to be stand-in for Superman, in which they're going to accept that offer. And the big bit that's causing the rift between the two brothers, Luthor confronts Jordan about the recording, because in the previous episode, Luthor went and threatened Lois that he was going to kill one of her sons to choose one. So Luthor has on recording Lois choosing Jonathan to save. Now the reasoning behind Lois was, of course, at the time Jordan had powers, so he would have a much likely chance to survive. Now this is a hard conundrum. Can you blame Lois per se, or I don't know. It's like, of course, Jordan is very sensitive. He already feels it, even though having powers, feeling inferior. So he takes it as a betrayal from his mom, because he does go to the DoD, and because as well, Lois told her dad that Jonathan has powers, and like, okay, let's train him, X, Y, and Z. And when Jordan comes down to confront his mom, she's like stunned, and also trying to tell Jordan it's Luthor trying to manipulate you to like hurt me, separate us. But at that moment, Jordan doesn't want to hear it, so it super speeds off. But Jonathan's there listening, so maybe can understand how Jordan may be feeling in terms of that. So to cut the long story short, when Jordan leaves, Doomsday arrives. Sam tells John and Natalie to try to ward off Doomsday. The other thing, Sam is holding this serum that was from Bruno Mannheim from the previous season that had Superman's blood. That anybody to inject this serum would get powers as well. So he's looking at the syringe thing, and he's thinking that Lois has come back into the room, but it finds out is another army sergeant, whatever, that works for Sam, and he ends up finding out that this army soldier is holding this guy's family hostage. So there's a struggle, and this guy accidentally shoots Sam, and John and Natalie come in. They take the guy away, and then Sam tells John to follow his orders, which they do. And later on, we find out that Sam injects the serum into his heart. He confronts Doomsday, and Doomsday just moves his hand slightly, just a tiny fraction, and Sam's gone. When it broke his neck. Now, poor Lois, to see 2 deaths in the span of 3 weeks. First her husband, now her dad. Like, oh, wow, what a way to lay it onto this to Lois's character. And we end up finding out that Sam was looking for a donor heart for Superman, but there wasn't enough time. So the idea is to use Sam's heart with Superman's serum inside of him to do a heart transplant to Superman. Now, when I heard that, I was like, okay, that's very interesting plot. So at the end, John brings Sam's body is there in the Fortress of Solitude. The mom goes and tells Sam, the holographic mom Lara, I don't think this idea could work, and maybe we don't know the repercussions, what could be like the side effects. And John tells the hologram mom, this is the only hope we have, just do it. And the mom says the procedure it won't take that long, but the recovery will be to see when Clark finally awakes. And at the end of episode 3, he opens his eyes, and episode 4 is Clark. He has use of his powers, but for the episode I see in particularly, it's limited, I think, because I'll say why. So he arrives back to see his wife, and he's dressed in black. He knows the sacrifice that Sam did, and we see Superman with a scar in his chest. Now, I don't think this heart, there's 2 ways. The writers disregard Sam's sacrifice, or they're missing one full-blooded Kryptonian, and that when I watched the parts of season 3, is Superman's brother Tao. This heart of Sam I don't think will hold up. They're gonna use the brother. I doubt they use one of the sons. No, that would be too dark. If they don't do the brother is, I think, in a different dimension. I can't remember. Somebody let me know what happened to the brother. They can try and search for him. But then again, I doubt Clark. It would have to be a special reason, because I doubt Clark would want his brother that is perfectly fine to give his heart. And if they kill off one of the sons to give the heart, like, Jesus, that's the worst thing they could ever. If they want to tie up a goddamn story, that's the worst thing. And what do you call it? And as well, maybe with Jordan's character, there's been like a progression of his story, but with Jonathan, it's more like he has potential, but there was barriers stopping him from reaching the next level when, in theory, he's much more capable than Jordan. So I don't know if the writers was thinking they probably could have had 2 more seasons. I think Superman and Lois should end around season 6. There's so much more stories to develop, particularly with the sons, and it's particularly with Jonathan's character needs more time to be more developed. And it's all the whole thing of the whole actor change, which kind of stopped, the continuity of that kind of development. Because on season 3, it kind of felt like Jonathan's character was put on pause. Oh yeah, so that's my theory. So episode 4 is Superman, having a new lease of life and trying to really deal with coming back from the dead. And it's also very good that the writers are following up with Lois's cancer storyline, that even though that she's in remission, she has to, not in remission, I think it's, how can I say that? I think she's doing the last bits of chemo. They're following up on that story that even though she's okay, it's going to be a lifelong thing that she's going to have to be having constant checkups from the doctor. Okay, so this is the end of the review from episode 3 to 4 of the final season of Superman and Lois. Let me down below if you think they're going to use Superman's brother to replace the heart, because that heart doesn't look like it's going to keep up. Or maybe they'll keep the heart and they're going to, at the end of the season, pass on the mantle to both sons. If they kill off one of the sons, now that's not good writing in my end, because what was the point? Anyway, to any new viewers, really appreciate if we can hit the subscribe button, and to any new subscribers, a big thank you for subscribing. Let's keep the channel growing, and as I leave you always, stay safe. Bye.